citizens accept the charges on obscene phone calls. It's Late Night with David Letterman and the world's most dangerous fan. And now, a man who was the only midget to ever bat in a Major League Baseball game, Dave.
Welcome to the big show. Thank you for being here. Hi, how are you? Okay. All right. Thank you very much, folks. Welcome to the program. My name is Dave. It's our big Friday night hootenanny. That's right. And I'm Jack Linkletter. Hi, how are you? Let me tell you a little bit about this. You know, I get a salary here from NBC. And frankly, between you and me, I'm making a comfortable living. But if you're in show business, the dumbest thing in the world you can do is not have something else going, you know? You got to have like a side business working for you all the time. Is that right, Paul?
Absolutely.
All right. So,
I have one.
Yeah. I resisted. Let me tell mine first. So it turns out the thing is working great. Here's what we do. I got some video cameras, and we videotape weddings. We videotape bar mitzvahs and LAPD arrests. So the thing is really... I'd like to see it tighten up the tie. I appreciate the fact that you have one, but just tighten it up a little bit. As a performer, it means a little something to me. Thank you. All right, sure. Can't breathe, of course. Yesterday, former President Ronald Reagan announced that he was in favor of this new handgun bill that requires people who purchase handguns to wait a week before the permit and the paperwork go through, and then you can pick up your gun. Now, interestingly enough, they have this same law in Moscow, in the Soviet Union, in Russia, but it has to do with buying potatoes. Hey, speaking of Moscow, something fishy here. The Soviets now are blaming the big fire at the U.S. Embassy in Moscow on Donnie Wahlberg. Did you hear that? Yeah. Donnie. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Are you big fans of New Kids on the Block? Yeah. I am Vince McMahon. Thank you. Man, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is the show to be watching. You know who is on the show? If you had to have one guy on the show, if you wanted to have one guest be on your show right now, this week, tonight, who would it be?
Me?
No, well, of course you, Paul.
Arthur.
Wait a minute, go back there. Go back there. How long have we been doing this show? I've never noticed this. I always thought somebody else had the worst seat in the place. Look at the seat these people have right here. Now, will you be there all night, Eric?
No, I think I'll move.
Oh, well, you can stay there if you like. What'd you pay for those seats? All right, come up to the house later. I'll make it up to you. Okay. I have no idea what that means. Hi, Paul. How are you?
I'm marvelous, David. It's nice to see you. You're looking well today, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. You know, last night was a kind of an exciting night for us. We got the data in this morning. This has never happened before in the history of television. And, of course, this is not 100% accurate, but last night, if we believe what we're seeing so far, everyone in the United States watched this show last night.
Everybody in the United States. Man, that's exciting. That's exciting.
Experts now are calling it a statistical fluke.
What are you really saying?
I thought, wouldn't that be something if one night everybody in the country, 250 million people watching our little show.
That would be something.
Let me run down the big program. We have, ladies and gentlemen, right here in my right hand, I have actual letters from actual viewers, and tonight we're going to take a couple of minutes to respond to those very letters. Get ready for real comedy fun. Letter number one. Dear Dave, what's on the 37th floor of the building behind you, the one with the blinking lights on the roof? Inquisitively, William B. Jones, Chicago, Illinois. That one right there. I think that's the one he's talking about, the big tall one right there in the center. That's the Carlisle Hotel. And, oh, as a matter of fact, you know who's staying at the Carlisle Hotel this very week? Yeah, New Kids on the Block. Oh, wait a minute. Oh! Right off the bat, Paul. Right off the bat.
Got him. I know.
Solid comedy right there.
Keep it going.
I'm so glad I'm sitting down here. Dear Dave, letter number 2 begins, I have a friend named Mark who claims that like Vanilla Ice, if you weren't doing what you were doing today, you'd probably be in jail. Is this true? Sincerely, Lucas L. Freeman, Farmington, Maine. You know, Lucas, I guess considering my background, I am pretty lucky not to be in jail here. Take a look at this photo. Let me hold it up here for one of our cameramen. Bailey, will you take a shot of this for us, please? There, look at that. Considering my background, I guess... By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this smoke is completely harmless. Yes, sir. I think I might have been drinking when this photo was taken. Take a look at... Yeah. That looks like maybe a 6-pack the night before, don't you think, Paul? Oh, by the way, we got another offer to pitch Major League Baseball. We're putting together the itinerary, so if you have any more offers, I'd like to have you get them in just as soon as you can. Paul will be singing the national anthem.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah,
wait a second.
You'll have to fly Paul in. I'll be traveling by van. Mary Connolly, our staff member, and I will be traveling by van. The Reds want me to pitch now.
Well, really?
The Reds, the Mariners, and you'd expect the Braves to call in anytime. Wouldn't you? Yeah.
You would.
And the Padres and the Mets. Yeah.
All of them have offered.
That's right. So we're putting together our big summer
an actual
Major League
inning.
Yeah, 1/2 inning, guaranteed, no hit, no. What'd I say? Shutout baseball.
That's right.
Letter number 3, and if I don't, by the way, the tickets are on me. Dear Dave, I just wanted to pass along a quote I had seen the other day. There are only 2 types of jobs in this world, those where you shower before work and those where you shower after work. If you really think about this, it applies universally. Yours truly, Dwayne Cooper, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, Canada. Well, Paul, I guess by this definition, you must be unemployed.
That's it. That's it. I've had it. I've had it with a line like that.
What?
I don't need it anymore.
Well, what do you mean?
I've had it with you and your witty comments. That's it.
Now, Paul, come on back. It was only a joke, Paul. For heaven's sakes, reconsider, won't you? Oh, thank God you're safe, Paul.
All right. You got one more chance. That's it. One more chance. We'll do it again, and I bail. I'm telling you.
You know, Arthur Kent is here tonight, and he knows what it's like to be near a bombing area. Letter number 4. Dear Dave, has anyone on your staff ever become a celebrity guest or a contestant on any game show before doing your late-night show here on NBC? Sincerely, Scott Arrow, Baltimore, Maryland. Let's see, anybody done a quiz game show? Anton, you were on a game show, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Not so good, Dave.
Oh, really? Not so good. Hal, do we have any tape of Anton's appearance on the game show? All right, let's take a look at that. Here it is, Anton on the game show. Watch closely, if you will.
Yes, Anton.
What is a possum or newt?
I'm sorry, it's not a newt. Patricia, do you know the answer to this one?
Who was Ulysses S. Grant?
Ulysses S. Grant, correct. Congratulations, Patricia. Once again, you're our grand champion. Too bad, Anton. You didn't come close to winning, but we do have some lovely parting gifts for you. Jim O'Brien, what do we have for Anton?
Anton will be leaving with a month's supply of turtle wax, a booklet of Kraft macaroni and cheese coupons, and a lifetime contract to be the drummer on NBC's Late Night with David Letterman.
We're happy to have you, Anton. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you sound great. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen, and believe me, our little comedy bomb here tonight will have no effect on Arthur Kent. Paul will be singing the national anthem.
This is news to me, but I'll be there. Wherever you go, babe, I'm there.
You'll arrive the day of the game by airplane.
First class, of
I'm
course.
driving in a van with staff member Mary
Suits me
Conley,
fine.
serving as my bullpen catcher.
You and Mary traveling. Will you be
Yeah.
making any stops?
Huh?
Stopping over anywhere?
Well, we don't know. We haven't put the itinerary together yet, but
right.
so far. Okay. It's the top 10 list here from the Home Office in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Top 10 rejected names now for the new slogan of Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know, Paul, they're changing Kentucky Fried Chicken. They don't like the word.
It's no longer going to be finger-licking good?
Well, it might be finger-licking good. This is not necessarily the slogan, it's the names. Did I say slogan?
Yeah.
I misspoke. Forgive me. Kentucky Fried Chicken, new names.
Changing the name of
That's right. They're
Kentucky
getting rid of the
Fried
word fried.
Oh, I see.
And they've selected KFC. That's maybe the new name, maybe one of these other names. Poltergeists. You know, this studio is built on an Indian burial ground. Top 10 rejected names for Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Maybe KFC and maybe one of these 10 names.
Thank you. Here we go. Number 10, lifeless bird lumps. Number 9, KFC and CPR. Number 8, hot oily hens. Number 7, Greaseland. Number 6, the You're a Little Too Late Petting Zoo. Number 5, I knew somehow I felt you'd enjoy that one. Number 5, Heart Attack Helper. Number 4, Jiffy Lube, but damn it, it's already taken. Number 3, Home of the Soggy Grease-Stained Bucket of Fun. Number 2, Food, Folks, and Fat. And the number 1 rejected name for Kentucky Fried Chicken, Artery Busters. There you go. Hi, welcome back to Hee Haw. Our first guest is a reporter for NBC News who, to everyone's surprise, including his own, emerged as one of the leading figures in the Gulf War. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, safely back in New York, Arthur Kent. Oh, Arthur, like a hero.
Just like a hero.
Nice to meet you. Thank you very much for being on the program. I understand you have not been back in this country all that long, have you?
No, about 12 hours.
12 hours. You came from where?
I came from being lost, having a few days off on the way back from.
Oh, so you did take a little R&R, as they say.
Little R&R.
Now, let's go back and talk a bit about how you got to NBC, what your background is, and where you've been stationed before this war broke out.
Well, before the war broke out, I was in Rome, hoping to stay there as much as possible.
I would think so.
Hoping we were going to have a quiet news season.
Yeah.
And then last August, that was all shattered. Before that, you know, I've worked with NBC News on contract and staff basis for about 5 years now.
So you've been traveling all over the world, reporting pieces on the nightly news for 5 years, and they had you in Rome, and is it the Roman Bureau there?
The Rome Bureau.
Now, what kind of things would you cover there as a reporter for NBC?
Well, over the past 2 years, unfortunately, not too much, because the big stories have been everywhere else.
Yeah, well, so that would
Eastern
be a pretty
Europe.
good gig, I would guess, wouldn't it?
If we could stay in Rome, our bureau would be very happy indeed.
And now you're in Saudi Arabia. You're covering the activities there, the Gulf War, so on and so forth, and you become like a big deal.
Yeah, you think so?
Well, yeah. I mean, of course, you must know it by now. You've had a chance to experience this a little bit. Women are coming by your hotel room at night. There are fan clubs, and Arthur Kent goes from a guy who would occasionally turn up doing reports on the free market in Denmark, I guess.
Never got that done.
Oh, okay.
Never got that.
To suddenly you're like a, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's very bizarre. It's unusual, you know, because I come from a family and from a school that would hope that through our reporting we get people interested in the places we are and the people we're reporting on. The journalist should be sort of a medium.
Secondary, sort of invisible as they tell the story.
Not totally invisible.
Well, I guess not.
Part of you that wants to be partially invisible. But certainly nothing like this.
Yeah. Do you mind if we show this videotape?
No.
I think this is the videotape that sort of focused the American attention on you. This captured everyone's interest and fancy, and tell them what we're going to look at here.
Well, I believe we're going to look at some of the initial attacks on Dhahran.
This is live.
This is live television.
This is you on top of...
This is us behind the hotel where we were stationed in Dhahran, learning moment by moment.
This is early on in the attack of
very early on.
Iraq.
It's about the third and fourth day of the war, of the air war, and we were learning moment by moment what it meant to be involved in missile and anti-missile warfare.
Okay, and so what we're looking at here is an actual attack?
That's right. What I'm going to be attempting to do is to tell people in New York who are watching us through a satellite feed, which is not on the air,
Right,
but watching us protectively in case something happens. So I'm trying to attract their attention and let them know that, hey, maybe it'd be a good idea to go on the air and show people.
And are you just scared silly at this point?
No, I must say we're all scared silly that it won't work, our transmission.
So you're at that point, the reporter takes over, you're preoccupied with getting the feed up and on the air.
Sure, the reporter, the technicians, cameraman, producers, we're all interested in communicating with New York and letting everybody see what's going on. It's hard news. I mean, it's the most pure form of news, I suppose.
Sure.
And this was a fairly sensational
I would think so.
kind of report. I mean, we'd never seen missile warfare like this before. So.
Are you scared silly here tonight?
No, not at all.
We'll change
You're
that.
doing
Don't
all
worry.
the work.
All right, let's roll the videotape now. This is Arthur Kent during the war. Thank goodness, long over now.
Yeah, this is not a drill. New York. Okay, let's go. We're firing Patriots. We've got flares and we've got sirens. Let's go. Focus.
This is Arthur Kent a few minutes ago in Saudi Arabia.
It's the voice of Garrett Cutley, yes, that's right.
Let's go.
There you can hear the launch of a Patriot missile. That was the first signal, really, although too late to take cover, that there was an Iraqi Scud missile.
It looks to
coming
me
into
like
position.
you put on your jacket. Is that what you did?
That's right. Now here I grabbed the nearest available soup can. It was a helmet. And here a gas mask.
Not made for
because we had some impacts very close to our location.
They're very difficult to
Catch your breath there a minute.
naturally.
Tom is suggesting that I breathe carefully. I mean, we had we were grabbing our helmets and jumping under tables, those of us who weren't on air, because we had an incoming Iraqi missile intercepted by a Patriot just about 1,000 feet directly above our position. Of course, by the time we saw that impact, it was too late. The garbage, the junk was already falling in the parking lot across the street. On the latter occasion, we watched a missile hit the end of the airstrip, so we were grabbing our gas masks in case there was some sort of chemical warhead.
Even watching that, I'm guessing we still have no sense of the terror that must have been in the air as you were experiencing it. I mean, good heavens.
Well, a good deal of confusion. I mean, we made the decision to stay out on the platform and report on these things because we thought it impossible there were nuclear warheads and thought it unlikely, given the information we had, that there were chemical warheads. Right. And I'd seen Scud attacks in Afghanistan before. I mean, they're terrifying things, certainly. But strategically, they're not a great weapon.
Yeah.
They, tragically, we learned with the death of 28 U.S. servicemen in that very unfortunate hit, the first Monday of the ground war, just how much damage they can do if they do hit a target. But what we were trying to do was simply to walk people through the war as it happened moment by moment.
What are those big blue things we saw you behind you the whole time?
Well, they look rather mysterious. I mean, we didn't have much choice.
Radar. Was it radar?
I'm afraid what you're looking at is the women's changing room of the swimming pool.
That was...
I mean, we didn't have much choice,
That was my
David.
second guess. See, right there. Radar.
That's right. You're
Cool
right.
cabanas for women. Right there was it.
We didn't have much choice where we could park our satellite dish.
We'll do a commercial here and then. The Today Show taking over the nightly news. Doing any of that stuff.
Just go back to Rome and wait for the next disaster.
But it must be a pretty good life in Rome.
Yeah, when we're there, it's a wonderful country to return to.
Sure. What do you do? What do you do? You get up around what? 1, 2 in the afternoon? Phone into the office, see how things are doing.
No, really, when I'm in Rome, I try to get up early and run and get exercise.
Right.
You know, get ready for lunch.
Yeah.
And, we've got a lot of serious stories underway there. You know, the mafia, the church, the Italian state is coming apart at the seams.
Yeah.
The people. I mean, it's a great society and a great story we've been ignoring.
We have here, Arthur, some nicknames that have been assigned to you as a result of your reportage. Did I use that word properly?
You did.
Oh, good.
Indeed.
Let's see. The some I'm a little embarrassed to mention. Of course, I think we've all heard the Scud Stud. Number 2, I'm just going to skip unless you want to. Do you want to try that one?
No.
Yeah, I know.
Let's skip right to the end of it.
Okay, Desert Hunk, the Desert Fox, the Satellite Dish, and Arthur of Arabia. a rich, full career. What do you think of this thing with General Schwarzkopf now and President Bush? Schwarzkopf is back in the country like a couple of days, a bigger hero this country has not had, and suddenly he goes on an interview show and says something that people get their nose out of joint. And, you know, what's that all about?
Well, you know, all I can tell you is that the soldiers I was with the 1st Cavalry Division, the morning the ceasefire was called, at 5 a.m., we were getting ready to destroy an Iraqi armored battalion that was somewhere beyond 5 kilometers away from us. And they were very disappointed because all of their training, all their waiting, all the momentum of the attack was about to come to fruition with what they thought was the objective. So I think General Schwarzkopf must be feeling that on a grand scale, that as a soldier, he saw the elimination of a greater part of Saddam Hussein's army. And of course, as a politician now, the president and his men must reckon with the fact that Saddam Hussein is still on top, though deeply troubled, perhaps doomed. But Iraqi civilians are suffering and dying. Other civilians in the area will suffer and die. This is the thing we see over and over again as we travel from one nation of despair to another, is that Western foreign policy, particularly U.S. foreign policy, doesn't always follow through after these great successes. The undeniable military success of Kuwait that foreign policy, the politicians and diplomats don't always follow through and achieve the long-term success and the peace and stability that people in the region want. I mean, we in many ways have seen the reinforcement of the status quo. The leaderships in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, you know.
Excuse me, will there be a midterm? Arthur, it's a pleasure and a privilege to meet you. Congratulations on a great job. He's a very smart guy, this Arthur Kent.
Sure is.
Because he's sitting there, he's chatting, and he's talking, and pretty soon I can feel my brain roll over in my head. I have no idea what he's talking about. That's the difference. Isn't that interesting about life? It's essentially the same equipment. He starts talking, I'm confused. I mean, we're guys, right? We're essentially just guys like everybody else. He knows all that stuff.
He knows.
And I'm thinking, where can I get me a discount pizza? That's all. That's, you know, I'm thinking, on my drive home tonight, I still have those coupons. Will the place be open so I can drop in and get me a bargain pie? That's all I got. And he's going on and on and on and on. Is it any wonder I feel like a dork? And he's on his way back to Rome. Yeah, oh yeah, he's breaking his ass in Rome. Let me tell you who's on the program. Yeah. What the hell we're doing Monday? I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm so embarrassed about this. Hi, nice to see you. Oh! Hi, how you doing? You got any of those monster truck magazines? Road and Track? No. You got a TV guide?
TV guide, yeah.
Thanks. Is that this week? Yeah, cable's hottest month coming up. Yeah, no, I got one at a time, if you don't mind.
What's on NBC tonight, Ed?
What do you care? Hey, get your own show. See if I come and bother you. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Okay, I know. I know who it is now. Okay, it's... talented and versatile actor whose latest role is the arch villain in the controversial film New Jack City. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Wesley Snipes.
Hey, man, I love this show, man.
Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, let's talk about this movie a little bit.
Okay.
What do you think about these? You're the worst evil guy ever in this thing, aren't you?
Well, I don't really see myself like that.
No. I don't mean you, but I mean the character.
What are you trying to say, Dave?
No. The character in the film. This is like the nastiest ever.
Okay.
Wesley Snipes, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when
he's a mean guy, but he has to be. I mean, he has a job to do.
Well, and what is that job?
To sell lots and lots and lots of cocaine.
Well, no wonder he's grouchy. Now, when this movie first opened, there's riots and stuff. What was all that about?
Hype, Dave. Hype. Hype, man. It was hype. Yo, Siskel and Ebert were on your show, and they told you, right?
Yeah.
Right, it was hype.
That's right.
I didn't see the show.
Yeah.
I missed that one.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, get a VCR. Yeah, Roger said that he thought that every film that opened anywhere in the country, a couple of people would be killed. He just felt that automatically that was going to happen.
That's partially the case. I mean, that's partially true. I mean, you've had a lot of incidences of violence with a lot of different films, not just with New Jack City.
So you think it was just sort of...
Well, I mean, situation out in Westwood was that they oversold the theater by 1,500 tickets.
Right.
You know, and even if these people wanted to come to see your show and they oversold it by 1,500 tickets, there may be a melee. People might be killing each other out on 6th Avenue.
Yeah. It has...
Kind of, sort of.
It has happened. We've been able to hush it up.
I understand.
And what was your... How did you get into films? What was the first film you were, like the first major role that you felt you had? What was that?
That I thought I had?
Well, you know what I'm trying to say.
Major League.
Yeah.
Major League, that was the first one. A film with Goldie Hawn, where I played a young, sex-crazed football player.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, sure, yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, and was that fun? Did you enjoy working with her?
Yeah, Goldie's great.
Yeah.
Goldie's wonderful, wonderful. Some of the other people weren't all that hype, you know, but Goldie had it going on.
Like who else didn't you care for in that?
I can't say that.
Yeah, no, well, okay.
I can't.
What did you do before you started getting paid as an actor? What kind of things were you able to work at?
A lot of things, man. I was a masseur for a while. I parked cars for about a week. I worked at Radio City Music Hall for 2 days. A lot of different stuff. Did a little telephone work on the side.
Now, what kind of telephone work are we talking about?
Before the long distance services went to like these fiber optics,
right?
You had to put this computer in the businesses so that the services would be able to, the people would be able to access a long distance.
So you were installing equipment?
Yeah.
And the work at Radio City, what was that?
I was working over in behind the counter. This is one of those vendors, you know, and we came up short, so I left. I mean, I don't eat a lot of candy, but we came up short, and I couldn't understand it, so I just broke out, man.
Yeah. A little disagreement about the register, and so you just left.
Minor disagreement, man.
Yeah.
Minor misunderstanding.
And how long were you giving massages?
Up until people started to say, don't I know you? I've seen you before.
Yeah.
And I had to stop that, man.
Yeah. And did you know what you were doing, or you just...
Yeah, I studied.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to the Swedish Institute. I went to a program down in about 17th Street, some African massage therapy techniques. And, you know, had to make a living, man.
Was it mostly fat people? I don't know. I'm sorry. If you want to punch me, go ahead.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Now, there's a...
as far as I can remember.
Now, there's a scene in the film where it's in the little processing plant, the little warehouse, the little factory, and everybody in this scene is...
David.
Everybody's naked in this. Is that right?
Yes, relatively.
Yeah. Now, what do you mean relatively?
Well, some of the women are, unfortunately, and some of the men aren't.
Now, what is the purpose of this in the film, and what was it like to be acting under those circumstances?
I didn't have to do the scene. Chris Rock did the scene. Yeah. I just watched. I came to the set that particular day.
I like that, to show an interest in the project.
I have to support. I'm a giving actor. I support my fellow, thespians. Yeah. Man. But the groove is that when you're in that type of environment,
right?
If you're dealing or if you're processing, cocaine or whatever, you strip naked so that you don't get any dust on you or you don't even smuggle any of the stuff out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not speaking on Scud Stud is an expert on this. Yeah. But
I think they do the same thing at the Fritos plant.
Strip down naked.
I think they do. I think it's.
Listen, man.
Where do you live? You live in...
You're very sick.
Well, thank you. I couldn't be more proud. But where's your home? Are you from the East originally? From the Midwest? What part of the country?
No, I was born in Orlando, Florida. And then by the time I was 1, my mother brought me to New York. And I lived in the Bronx.
Right.
And now I'm living in Brooklyn.
Oh, so you haven't moved to Los Angeles. Do you have any designs on moving to California?
No, none whatsoever.
You're going to stay here and pursue your acting?
As long as I can.
Yeah. Things are going real well for you, aren't they?
Can't complain.
Yeah, well, I'm happy you could be here with us tonight.
Is it over?
Well, what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I love this show, man. So I just want to sit in with the band and just hang. Just chill,
Sit down. We'd have had more time, but Arthur Kent was here.
It's an interesting dude, man. You see how my man was ducking, man? Scuds went up and he was like...
Yeah, that's right.
I would have broke out. Now he's a hero, man. My man was scared to death over there.
Now he's back to Rome. All right, we got to do a commercial, and then we'll be right back here, kids. It was great meeting you. You got a son? How old's your son?
2 and 4 months. 3 months.
Oh, great. What's his name?
Jelani Assar.
Yeah. Is he going to be a thespian? Is he outgoing? I
don't know. He's kind of Hamish already, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Good for you. Nice to have you here.
Thank you, Dave.
My thanks also.